Welcome back. In this video, I want to teach you a new feature in Autodesk Inventor. So let's click on our New button and go to Standard Part. And once we're in here, let's click on Start New Sketch. And this time I want to start on my YZ plane or my side view plane. And I want to select my circle tool. And I want to lock it right onto the center. I want to make it coincident with the origin. So you want to make that green dot happen. I'm going to click and drag, but I'm not going to click again. Instead, I'm going to type in a diameter of 1.5 and hit enter. And you can see that my circle is fully constrained already. I told it its size and I told it where to always be. I'm going to hit escape on my keyboard and I'm going to add one more thing to this circle. I'm going to find my line tool and I want to create a line that goes from top to bottom across this circle. Now, before you click, if you let it hover, you'll see that little yellow dot sort of move in to a certain point in the circle. We call that the magnet feature. It's magnetizing to the top point of this circle. Make sure that you get that yellow point stuck to that and then click and drag down. And I want you to do the exact same thing at the bottom. It's very important not to let it go below and click. I want it to magnetize to the edge of the circle at the bottom and then click. And to center it, I'm going to click on my right view. And you'll notice that this line is not constrained. So I'm going to hit escape on my keyboard. And whenever something's not constrained, I like to figure out why before I do anything. And so I click on it and I drag it. You can see why. I can move it from side to side. And so to fix that, I'm going to find my coincident constraint. And I'm going to tell this line to always be stuck to that center point. And I'm going to right click and hit OK. And it looks like it's still not constrained. If I click on it, I can no longer drag it left to right. And so you might be wondering, well, why is it not fully constrained then? But if I select the top point of this line and drag it, you can see why. I can still rotate it. That is the last degree of freedom. To fix that, I need to add a vertical constraint to this line. So if I select my vertical constraint and hover, and you'll notice that when I hover over this line, the vertical constraint looks horizontal. This is kind of a weird rule in Autodesk Inventor, but whenever you're in the side view, the vertical and the horizontal constraints are sideways. And so if I select my horizontal constraint instead, you can see it makes that vertical dotted line. And so I'll select that line with this, and you can see now that my line is completely vertical and fully constrained. And so from here, I'm going to finish my sketch. And I'm going to hit my home view to center this circle. And we could extrude this circle piece by piece, or the entire thing. But instead, I want to teach you a new feature. We're going to learn the revolve feature today. So go ahead and click on that. And the first thing it wants you to select is your profile. So let's select a profile that we want to revolve. And all a profile is a shape. I'm going to select this one on the right. And I'm going to be very careful not to also select this one on the left. Then I'm going to come over here and click on the word Select Axis. And I'm going to select this line as my center axis for my revolve tool. And if I click on it, you can kind of see what happens. It creates a sphere. I want you to click on that arrow and then drag it around. And you can kind of see how this works. It takes that shape, that profile we selected, and revolves it around that center line that we selected as the axis. If I revolve it the other way, you can really see how it works. But I actually don't want this to be an angle. I want to reselect full to make it a full 360 degrees and hit OK. And we have a full sphere. And if we want to make it look cool, we can go into our tools and go to Adjust. And I can select my sphere, and then I can choose whatever color I want it to be. And if I go here to the center, I can adjust the brightness and the darkness of that color. But even cooler than that, at least even cooler than that in my opinion, is you can go over here and select different materials for it to be. So I can tell it to be some stone, or some wood, or zinc. And I'm sure there's some pretty cool ones in here. Let's see if I can find something really cool. And I like that one, that sky blue dark. So I'm going to go ahead and select it. And then I'm going to hit my check mark to confirm my adjust feature. And play with it, have some fun with it. Make something that looks cool. And when you're done, go to File, Save As. And let's call this one Sphere. Or you can call it Ball, or really whatever you want, as long as you can find it in your project folder. And then we are done with this shape.